You heard what he said. I don't agree with everything that Dreamers Pro show said. Hey,
I don't.
I don't agree with everything he said. So just because you don't agree with everything he said, that means, hey, he deserves a death threat, huh? Okay, it is what it is. But you had to throw that out there. You had to put that out there as a disclaimer.
I was giving context. I was giving context.
Can we ask Coach Scott? Coach Scott, do you want to make a death threat?
Not at all. I value life, liberty, and justice.
Okay. Do you want others to make a death threat?
No. I value life, liberty, and justice.
All right.
Hey, we making light of this, and it's a serious situation. That somebody would literally take their time out to say, you can't come back to a certain place because you took this basketball player out of your top 5. You don't even know this man. So I'm sure y'all have heard by now that, I don't know, the LeBron fans, man, I don't know how far they'll take. Coach Scott, I got to come to you first. I don't know how far they're willing to take their lunacy. Now the maniacs are threatening to kill people for taking LeBron James out of their top 5. And before anybody say, you're lying. We're talking about Dreamers Pro, who had his life threatened by a LeBron James fan because he refused to leave LeBron James inside of his top 5. Now he has a no-fly zone alert, or whatever you call it, on him that he can't go back to Los Angeles. Now, for one, I don't even think the brother lives in this country, honestly. I'm not even sure where he's filming from, but I don't think he's too worried about that. It's just the fact of it being done, Coach Scott. Coach Scott, why are the LeBron James fans, death threats? Seriously, Coach Scott? Death threats?
Hey, man, it's despicable me. That's despicable me. I think it's terrible. I don't agree with everything that Dreamers Pro has to say. Shout out to Dreamers Pro. I think it's a great show. But I don't agree with everything. But at the same token in time, it's never that serious where we can't rationalize or view or voice our own opinions about, who's good, who's bad, who's not, who's hot, and not get a death threat. I think that's insane. I think that's crazy. And as my co-host over there likes to say, I'm gonna say it with my chest.
Yeah, well, I don't know. At least now, Coach Ayo, I said Coach Scott is one of the only rational, logical LeBron James fans I know. It ain't a lot of them out there. Say we need to be appreciating this brother because he's rare, right? I see your face. I see it. You don't think so. You don't think so. I got you. You don't think so. Hey, but he's not making death threats, Coach Ayo.
Who say you don't want to make death threats?
I do.
You say you don't want to. All right.
That's fair. You're probably right about that. I did have somebody call me a couple times late night and hang up.
This is terrible.
Audience, please do not let Coach Scott fool you. Do not let Coach Scott fool you. Please don't, okay? You heard what he said. I don't agree with everything that Dreamers Pro show said. Hey,
I don't.
I don't agree with everything he said. So just because you don't agree with everything he said, that means, hey, he deserves a death threat, huh? Okay, it is what it is. But you had to throw that out there. You had to put that out there as a disclaimer.
I was giving context. I was giving context.
Can we ask Coach Scott? Coach Scott, do you want to make a death threat?
Not at all. I value life, liberty, and justice.
Okay. Do you want others to make a death threat?
No. I value life, liberty, and justice.
All right.
Hey, we making light of this, and it's a serious situation. That somebody would literally take their time out to say, you can't come back to a certain place because you took this basketball player out of your top 5. You don't even know this man. This man would not do the same thing for you. Hey, where did this level of sports loyalty come from? This level?
I've never seen it.
I mean, you have.
No. I've never seen it. We've seen this. We've seen this with teams. Like we have diehard Cowboy fans, you have diehard Yankee fans of teams, but you've never seen this with a player. Never seen this with a player. But they treat the player as if the player is the team. So if you say something against LeBron James or you don't do what you're supposed to help LeBron James, then you become a villain or you become a target or you become the enemy of the state. All right? And that's terrible. Again, not LeBron's fault. Even though I believe he does a little puppet master every now and then, but this is not his fault.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. You say it's not his fault. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I think it is his fault because it's this man. Yeah. It's this man who has used Clutch to manipulate the media in such a powerful way to create narratives and brainwash people on such a level that they are willing to go to this length. Should he be jailed or something for it? Of course not. But is he responsible for the warped way of thinking of his following? Kinda, yeah.
Let me get back in there. Listen,
come on in, coach.
It is not Michael Jordan's fault that individuals want to take people's lives for his shoes. It's not his fault. He has nothing to do with that. It's not fans that, you say we've never seen this before. We've seen it with a fan that actually did it to Michael Jordan's pizza when he got sick, when they sabotaged his pizza that he ate that night when he
LeBron James fan?
No, it wasn't a LeBron James fan.
Oh,
this was way before LeBron James. Way before LeBron James.
I didn't know nothing about a pizza.
We've seen it. We've seen in Philly where fans have been beaten up. People have been stabbed.
For teams.
We've seen in LA at the Black Hole at the Raiders in Las Vegas now, but in the old Black Hole in Oakland where fans would beat other teams. We've seen it. So we can't just isolate LeBron James. I'm not gonna let y'all isolate LeBron James and make this a LeBron James thing. There are wild fans. There are wild fans out there. And again, for anyone to threaten a person's life because they disagree, hey, go to your higher self and let's rationalize as adults. That's how adults communicate. You put your opinions and objections on the floor. Someone else puts their opinion and objections on the floor, and the truth will stand. At the end of the day, you can agree to disagree, and nobody has to die. There has to be no bloodshed over that. But because someone takes them out of the top 5, I think that's crazy.
So, and yeah, that is crazy. So here's why I say that. Before all of y'all LeBron fans jump in the comment section how much I'm a hater, and because we can't pick another word and just hater's going to be the word. Before we get to that point, let's just tell the truth. You're right. LeBron can't control what people think. He can't control what people do. Jordan can't control what people think, what they do. But what you can do is create a company called Clutch to manipulate the minds of these maniacs to the point where, and I'm not telling them to go out and make death threats or nothing like that. But hey, listen, I'm going to push as much of these narratives or as many of these narratives to get people so riled up, to make people feel like they know this dude personally. When if he saw you, he may or he may not even sign your autograph. It happens, right? But you're willing to go to the extent to tell another man where he can and can't go, what he can and can't do, what he can and can't say, and what he can and can't think because you're that much of a LeBron fan. My thing is this. It's okay, man. If you want to think LeBron the GOAT, that's fine. We don't have a problem with you thinking LeBron the GOAT, but just don't have a problem with us disagreeing with you. Coach J.O., I don't get it. Why we can't disagree? Like we can't, I've never seen an athlete, and I'm about to give it to you right now. I've never seen an athlete have so much control over a fan base where the other fans are not even allowed to think anymore without, being threatened. That's crazy.
You know how, in the sports world that, people throw out the word blasphemy. But I really believe the LeBron James coach believes it's blasphemy not to say LeBron James can walk on water, not to say LeBron James created heaven and earth in 6 days and rested on the Sabbath. I believe that's blasphemy. If you don't believe that,
So
you do not
is it
believe
blasphemy?
that.
Is it blasphemy?
That's
to be called
blasphemy.
Black
If
Jesus?
you don't believe, if you don't believe
If you
LeBron
don't believe
James
that a player is Black Jesus, is that blasphemy?
can heal the sick, raise the dead,
Oh,
heal the leper. Hey, if you
Gaslight.
don't believe none of that stuff,
gaslight.
hey, I'm sorry. If you don't believe it, no. Hey,
But Coach Scott, was it the Michael Jordan fan saying Black Jesus, or was that Larry Bird quoted by Ray J. Miller? His peers.
But still, it's fans that take it to that extreme. It's
When?
fans that take it to that extreme.
What Michael Jordan fan made a death threat?
Say that again.
What Michael Jordan fan sent a death threat to a content creator for speaking his mind and speaking, in my opinion, the truth about, is GOAT or just basketball in general? What Michael Jordan fan did that?
We don't know because we're in a totally different age. We're in an age where you, myself, Coach J.O., and we can come and we can communicate our thoughts about sports unfiltered. That wasn't a thing 25 years ago. It wasn't a thing.
But I asked a very specific question, though.
I know it's happened because before the code of LeBron, it was the code of MJ, and the code of MJ is probably a little bit bigger because he has more shoes.
Wait, listen. I asked Coach J.O., I know you heard me. I asked a very specific question. Which Michael Jordan fan made a death threat to a content creator, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, whatever? Because you already know if it happens, content creator is going to go live and we are going to hear about it. When did this happen?
None. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it as of yet.
Yeah, you're right. So the point is this.
As of yet. But does it mean it doesn't exist? It don't mean it don't exist.
Okay, so wait a minute. Thank you. So when we were talking about the LeBron James, the whole Balco allegations and the evidence behind that, now you clearly, right?
Yeah,
does it mean it don't exist? Does that mean it don't exist?
Again, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but it don't mean that he did it either, right? So again, I'll stand firm on my square. I personally don't want to confirm or deny or move towards those type of egregious allegations to besmear somebody's career based off of 50-50. As a student of the game, 50-50 is not good enough for me.
50 is a lot. That's 50% is a lot.
It's not a lot.
No, that's a lot.
Let me. Okay.
Wait, hold on, Coach Scott. Before you respond, Coach L. Coach L, did you see what he just did? Now, I ain't gonna go 50-50 when we talking about the allegations of Balco, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna jump on the side of
hold on. But when we know for 100% fact that LeBron James fans are making death threats to content creators, what we're going to do is transition the conversation to put the attention on it could have happened with Jordan fans. But now when we do the same thing, well, I ain't going to go there. That's 50-50. I don't know. Come on, man. Let's just keep it 100.
50 is a lot.
We ain't seen this.
50 is a lot.
It's 100% that happened to Dreamers Per. I'm 100% saying it's wrong. I'm 100% saying it's wrong. But for me to say LeBron James has taken a steroid or done something illegal as it pertains to the sport of basketball, I can't 100% stand on that. Well, and let me tell you about your 50%, how it's so huge. In any school system in America, 50% is failing. If you walked up to your parent and was like, "Hey, mom, you're 50% my parent," she probably would 100% slap you. So 50% is not a lot. Let's kill that.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask
the context? There's certain context. Go ahead, Coach J.
Okay. Can I ask a question, Coach Scott? Coach Scott, you just mentioned that 50% isn't a lot, right? So let's just say you was having a wedding, right? You invited Coach J.O., you invited Abaya, you invited all of your friends and family. It's this great event. We at the beach. But the date that you had the wedding for, it's a 50% chance of severe thunderstorm. Would you still have the wedding on the beach?
Absolutely. being a weatherman is the only job you can be wrong every single day and never get fired. So absolutely, I don't trust nothing they say. So yes, I would. What we talking about? Listen, I worked in the field when I was in college. This is not a shout out, and we won't say the name of the company because until we get a commercial from them, we won't say the name. But they rented cars. And one of the things that we used to do, we used to know that we were going to get an influx of reservations as it pertains to the time of year that people were going to take vacation. You know what our standing motto was every single day? We actually would book more reservations than we had cars, but we knew one irrefutable fact, that 50% of the people weren't even going to show up. So based on that, we were good to continue to run business. So when I say 50% is not a lot, this is something that's tried and true. 50% is not a lot.
Coach Scott,
Okay.
Coach Scott, you walking through the desert. You got 10 bottles of water on a 100-mile hike. Would you throw away 50% of those water bottles?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so the 50% is
To your point of context.
context.
To your point of context. To your point of context. Let me ask you this: is 50% from the field good?
50% from the field?
Yeah, 50% from the field.
Yeah, that's why I said context earlier. It's definitely good. I'm the one who's saying context, but thank you for proving my point.
I'm agreeing with you as it pertains to the context, but what I'm saying is we can't just blanket make 50% be a ungodly amount of prudence as it pertains to somebody being accused of taking steroids.
Well, let me say this, and I agree with that. I only brought that up to prove a point. Like, we can't say on one hand we don't know what this, and we kind of and shoot like talk about it as if it's a definite, but on the other hand we'll say, oh, it's 50%. That's the only reason I brought that up. I have zero facts before these crazy LeBron maniacs start saying that we're saying that he used Balco or whatever. I'm just using it as an example. I don't know if he used Balco. Did he? There's a 50% chance that he did. There's a 50% chance he didn't. I have no clue. So it's just an example. So I want to get back to the point. When we get to this point, I don't know, Coach J, when we get to this point where if you're so infatuated with the player that you're willing to take another man's life over a game, Coach Scott, a game. Yes, money's involved. They get paid. But this money that you don't touch, you don't see, and don't pay none of your bills, and a man that you don't even know. We're going to get involved over a game to where we're threatening to take another man's life. Coach J.O., now, earlier I said, yeah, I can blame LeBron James, yada, yada, because of clutch. I'm going to ask you and Coach Scott this. I'm coming to you first. Clutch Sports, have they not continue to push such ridiculous and crazy narratives to an unsteady group of individuals? So yes, no, they didn't make the guy make a death threat. It wasn't their fault in that sense. But this is an effect that we're seeing in this crazy social media world that Clutch Sports is using to their full advantage. Am I wrong by this?
No, you're not wrong, because there's other pundits like Stephen A. Smith who has for years said that LeBron James and specifically Rich Paul are hell-bent on controlling the narrative. Okay? They want to control the narrative at all costs. Is that a good or a bad thing? Hey, I'm not here to say it's good or bad. I'm here to tell you it's a thing. It's the truth. They want to control the narrative. Okay. Not only that, it has came out that Clutch has sent emails to voters to give LeBron James MVP votes. That's on the record. Rick Bucher said that. That's on the record. Okay.
And Chris Bosh has said the same thing, where individuals have literally told him, hey man, you got to do X, Y, Z if you want to become an all-star. These are the things.
I get it, Coach.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay.
I'm just
wait, how does that connect though? How does that connect though?
Because if I'm a sports agent, my job is to make sure my player gets maximum money, maximum acclaim, and put them in the best light that they could be in. I personally don't see anything wrong with sending emails to voters or sending flyers to voters. We receive mail every election year.
But wait, you're going away. You're going away from what I'm asking you, Coach Scott. You're going away from what I'm asking you. How is me being your agent telling you step your game up so you can make an all-star game? Me being your agent, how is that the same as me being your agent sending JO messages saying better vote for Coach Scott? How does that come together?
Because it's not, they're sending it to voters. They're sending it to the voters. They're not sending it to just Joe Random. They're sending it to the voters. And again, the tie-in was with Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was told he has to do extra things to make himself be more polarized to become an all-star. Being in car commercials, doing things that he just was not doing at the time before he made his first all-star appearance. Coach J.O., he knows what I'm specifically speaking about. But again, this is not foreign. This is something that has happened before. This is something that's common in that vertical.
I still don't think it's related. I still think it's two different things. Me telling my guy what to do to get into a certain position versus me going out trying to manipulate everybody else. I cannot say that's the same thing. You know, I mean, I could be missing it. Maybe Coach J.O., maybe you got it. I don't see it though.
No. I understand what he's trying to say, but this doesn't apply here. It doesn't apply here because
how does
LeBron James wasn't even a legit MVP candidate the last year or the year before that. He wasn't a legit MVP candidate. So why would they be sending? Why would he be getting votes? You understand? You remember why?
Hold on 1 second. So you're telling me people that specifically run in political races and they have no chance of winning, but they send out the mailers. They spend time knocking on the doors. They have people. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
The same thing.
No, it isn't. Right. Okay. And this, right. and we're going back, and we're going to get back to the controlling to the narrative.
And I'm not going to send you a death threat just because I disagree.
I'm saying this is the controlling the narrative thing. This is why we have been duped. I haven't been duped.
And again,
I haven't been duped.
Not controlling the narrative. This is just speaking the facts.
But back to the reason why Bronny James was drafted. We have been duped to believe a narrative, okay, that Bronny James is deserving of being drafted juxtaposed to the other people that was in the draft with him. It's a narrative out there. It's just the narrative that plays in the minds of the people, okay? The same as what Abaya is pointing out. Clutch, LeBron puts these things out there, put these cryptic tweets out there, says little things here, does little things there, right? And he, like I said, he's a puppet master. Even though I believe he's not the number one person to blame, he does play puppet master at times. He does do that. He do.
He does. And let's just be honest, man. It's a dangerous game to play with that type of fan base. I'm just going to be honest. I think they're maniacs. And don't get me wrong, I'm starting to see that there's some Jordan fans who are probably transitioning to becoming some lunatics themselves based off their frustration of dealing with LeBron James fans. They're letting it get the best of them because it's just crazy. But we know this is a horrible fan base. I know it's a horrible fan base. This is just my opinion. You know, when you can have somebody like an AD give you about 30 and 15 in a series, and because LeBron James did not win, the first thing they say is, get rid of AD. We know it's a horrible fan base when Kyrie can average about 30 points in the finals and they can say LeBron had no help. It's a horrible fan base when in 2011, Dwayne Wade can average about 25, 26. LeBron completely disappeared in the fourth quarter, averaging 8 points or 4 points or whatever it was in the fourth quarter. And they say he had no help. Wade was past his prime. It's a fan base that they're not going to be accountable. They're not going to be responsible. It's always everybody else's fault. And Dream is Pro, because you took LeBron out of your top 5, it's your fault. Now I got to send you this threat. This is a horrible fan base. So if we're going to sit here and be like, and just tell the truth about it, is it 100% LeBron James's fault? I can't say it's his fault. Early I'm, making light, but I can't say it's his fault. But his fan base is not the type of fan base you could be manipulating that way. They're taking this stuff to heart. They act like they know this guy. They act like they met this guy. They act like they're about to have lunch with this guy. They act like this guy finna send them some money. I mean, like, come on, man. Let's be real. Y'all would never meet him. Probably never will meet him. Just be a fan. Just be a fan. Am I wrong? Just be a fan. Hey,
Go ahead.
I don't think you're wrong with that last statement. Just be a fan.
But what about the other stuff? What about the other stuff? Was he
I
wrong?
don't agree. I don't agree with that because it's the same mold of that type of fan that we call lunatics, that we call crazy. It's the same mode of fan that wants to argue both sides of the fence. Michael Jordan, he passed, he shot, he jumped, he soared, he did everything and he had no help. But then at the same time, when you compare the teams, you say, well, he did have Scotty, but Scotty didn't play. He's a backpack. You did have Paxson and Hodges and Harper. They were great players, but they weren't anybody. They weren't.
Who said Jordan didn't have help?
He couldn't do anything. It's the same type of scenario.
Who said that?
Michael Jordan fans don't see it that way. Michael Jordan fans?
Who? When?
A plethora of Michael Jordan fans. Let's just take 50% because 50% means a lot. 50% of Michael Jordan fans.
I don't think you can find 50% of Jordan fans to say Jordan did not have help.
Can.
All right, we're going to have to poll that. I'm going to poll that.
Watch this.
I don't believe.
Watch this.
I've never heard that.
Do you feel that way, Abaya?
That he had no help?
Yes.
No.
J.O., do you feel
He's trying to make his 50%
Mr.
point.
Backpack. Do you feel that way?
No, I don't feel that way. And I called him a backpack in reference to we were comparing duos. And we were comparing duos. We was talking about who is the best duo. Is he still
not an individual player that makes the duo? Duo means two. So
right. And I was telling you all that Michael Jordan holds more weight. And it wasn't a real duo. It was more so a big brother, little brother. Kobe and Shaq was a duo. That was my point.
Yeah,
and I did say backpack. And I did say backpack. And I'm not moving off of that. But Jordan did have help.
But
50%.
Jordan,
there we go.
No, he's not 50%. He literally just said he believes Jordan had help. He didn't agree with you.
He's trying to clean up spilled milk, but he's still minimizing the greatness of Scottie Pippen, an all-time great player in Scottie Pippen.
I'll give you that.
A Hall of Famer.
He was all-time great.
I give you that. I do think, and I told J.O. when he said it, I do think he minimized Scottie Pippen. But I have to agree, he never said Jordan did not have any help. He just said Scottie Pippen wasn't as great as y'all tried to make him out to be, because LeBron fans try and take Scottie Pippen and say Scottie Pippen was the leader of the team. Scottie Pippen carried Jordan. He just put it back in perspective, like, come on, don't be silly. Scottie Pippen did not carry Jordan. Scottie Pippen was like a backpack compared to Jordan, but he never said the Bulls didn't have help. Harper, Kukoc, Pippen. I mean, the list goes on and on. Grant, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson. He had help, all right? We never said that. But when it comes down to LeBron James, when, Coach J.O., do you remember the last time Scottie Pippen averaged about 30 points in the finals? Nope, me either. Didn't happen. Wait, hold on. Did LeBron James not have a player average about 30 points in the finals with him? And we just seen a player average about 30 points when they got swept, but it was all his fault, though. Come on.
Yes, we have seen that. And again, all we got to do is just really go back and look at any show. It's not about the stars. It's always going to be about the others. What are your others going to do? Yeah, stars are going to show up, but what are the others going to do? And as it pertains to the others, yes, you have had a Kyrie. You have had an AD that have played lights out, balls to the wall, and you couldn't have asked for a better tandem of a player to play with. But what I'm actually saying is, for the others, they didn't show up. They did not show up.
I'll say this. The others didn't show up for the Mavs. They made it all the way to the finals. So Kyrie and Luka was good enough to carry that squad at least a certain distance. So I can't say it's, LeBron ain't had no help. I can't leave with that. But we're going to go to the next segment.